The kiwi fruit, an icon of New Zealand, which is actually Chinese. The Chinese gooseberry, to be more specific, yup, it's a berry as well, as it's a product of an ovary of a single flower that creates a fleshy fruit with seeds inside. Raspberries, however, are not actual berries but rather aggregate fruit, as they contain several fruits each with their own seeds. Very different than an ovary having one flower. Each little sphere is a berry, not the group itself, so I guess you could call them BS berries, unlike kiwi fruit, which are real berries. They belong to the genus Actinidia, native to East Asia. This is a group of vining plants, which is why kiwi plantations oftentimes look like vineyards. Botanical definitions are rather different than culinary definitions and categories, and that probably deserves a video of its own. Anyway, the Chinese gooseberry traces its origins to, you guessed it, China. However, unlike rice and other staple crops that have ancient origins, the gooseberry was probably not eaten until the Middle Ages under the Song dynasty. This dynasty gave the world gunpowder and the compass, but unfortunately they don't really get any credit for the kiwi fruit. And just like the way of the Chinese inventing gunpowder and the compass but not actually utilizing it, it was eventually adopted by Westerners, and they utilized it. The Chinese gooseberry would languish in obscurity for centuries, until one tiny nation in the vast remoteness of the Pacific got a hold of some, and through cultivating them to their own temperate, warm oceanic climates, transformed this barely known Chinese gooseberry into the world-famous kiwi fruit. New Zealand is home to some of the finest agricultural treasures, as they adopted the Chinese import and later claimed it as their own. Its size, color, and texture resemble that of the kiwi bird, a small, almost blind, flightless bird that lives a life similar to a small mammal, and has become somewhat of a symbol for the nation of New Zealand alongside the silver fern. Kiwi had pretty much been a slang term for New Zealanders, and that's why they would call it the kiwi fruit. It stayed in New Zealand, and for a while, it moved on to the United States, Britain, and Australia, as many of those soldiers were stationed in the country for deployment against the Empire of Japan during World War II. And kiwis were oftentimes served as a source of vitamin C, essential for sailors for the prevention of scurvy. After the war, New Zealand commercially produced kiwis on a larger scale, and kiwis would become one of the most iconic exports of the country after lamb. The most commonly exported kiwi is the fuzzy kiwi, and it became a huge sensation on grocery stores throughout the developed world, known for its tart taste and sweetness when it's ripened. But the golden kiwi has really just become more popular in the past few years, and has seen traction due to its larger size, less hairiness, and smoother texture. Due to New Zealand's geographic isolation and reliance on high-quality agriculture, they're very protective of their crops, both in terms of intellectual property and biosecurity. I recall when I landed there, I was nearly fined 400 New Zealand dollars because I accidentally brought a piece of produce. Nonetheless, China eventually got a leg up, and now produces more kiwi fruit than New Zealand. New Zealand is only second place, followed by Italy, although the numbers may have changed by the time you're watching this video. So I guess it's come full circle, and it's become truly globalized, both in terms of its origin, its adopted country, and various countries that enjoy its sweet goodness. The story of the kiwi fruit shows us just how recent some of our seemingly mundane things in our lives are. Sometimes things that we supposedly thought existed for a very long time are actually quite recent phenomenon. And it just had me wondering, what other foods will overtake the world in the coming decades that we have no idea exist at the moment? Thanks for watching.